Again, this is the most airstrikes that have ever been, specifically whether on the Zionist regime or even on bases in the Persian Gulf. Again, viewers, just a moment. It seems, again, we have continued attacks here in the capital, Tehran, as we do have some shaking ongoing. We're going to go ahead and bring you the information, the breaking news, as we do receive them.
Watching Press TV.
Mahdi Zadeh, as always, thank you very much for your pleasure. Mr. Mahdi Zadeh, you were here present with us in the studio. The studio shook for a few moments, of course, as the Zionist regime, as of course the U.S. continued their attacks here in the capital. What do you believe is their end game? I mean, they know, if they had any acknowledgments of the history of Iran, the past, the thousands of years, as you did mention, it's in our blood here to continue resistance, not capitulate. What is it you think is their end game? What do they want to achieve here in Iran?
Actually, I go back to 1990 when the United States President George Herbert Walker Bush said, we fight for a new world order, what they believe in. They want a world domination of their kind of way of thinking, maybe Freemasonry, Illuminati, whatever they call it. But they are fighting for that, and they will not be satisfied with anything less than the global domination. And they will fight, they like to fight against anyone who stands in their way. It's a fight, it's a war of two schools. It's not just a fight over a piece of land. It's not a war for some only group of people. It's a fight between two groups who are fighting for their way of thought and their way they see the world. So they don't want to stop, even when they know that their invasions against Iran were not that kind of fruitful during the history. So this is what they want to do, and they tried to do since many centuries ago, and this is the same fight. The same fight. This is the same battle, and it's totally clear that they have not learned their lessons. You have seen that only a few minutes ago they bombed the surrounding areas and the building shaked. But we stand here and we are showing our message to them that not only the Iranian nation, all free thinking people of the world who stand and fight against Zionism and the New World Order will not capitulate, will not surrender to this global satanic domination. And I think that whether they like it or not, whether it ends in World War III or not, they will see the results of their illusion of the New World Order.
Well, exactly. And Mr. Hakim, as our guest here in the studio did mention, the perspective of perhaps a War III. When it comes to the situation, again, this is the most airstrikes that have ever been, specifically whether on the Zionist regime or even on bases in the Persian Gulf. Again, viewers, just a moment. It seems, again, we have continued attacks here in the capital, Tehran, as we do have some shaking ongoing. We're going to go ahead and bring you the information, the breaking news, as we do receive them. So, Mr. Hakim, do you agree with our guest here in the studio that, of course, we might be having a beginning of a World War III?
Yes, indeed, this is potentially the beginning of another world war. And, this is a battle between good and evil. This is a battle between the Islamic Ummah, the Ummah against the rotten, wretched Western philosophies and ideologies that they have. And I also want to reiterate what was said before, is that you cannot destroy these ideologies that we have. You cannot kill these ideologies that we have to fight against injustice, to fight against oppression, to fight against tyranny. This is a natural reaction to oppression. And the fighting against this kind of oppression and tyranny will continue. The people will rise. And also one more thing that I want to remind the people, that the whole Quran said, وَلَا تَهِنُوا وَلَا تَحْزَنُوا وَأَنْتُمُ الْأَعْلَوْنَ إِن كُنتُم مُؤْمِنِينَ. If you are true believers, you should not be upset. You should not be, have desperate emotions or be hopeless. You should always believe in God. And we believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Ayatollah Khamenei has taught us that. Everything that he has done has been based on humility, modesty, righteousness, the Holy Quran and the teachings of the Ahlul Bayt, and we will continue that path. We will continue the steps that he has taken, whether it is a World War III or whatever we want to call it, the fight against and the resistance against the oppression and the tyranny of the U.S. hegemony and the Zionism and what they've done to the Palestinians and everywhere else where they touched will continue.
Well, exactly. And viewers, as you can see again, we continue to show you in our live footage there, live from Karachi, of course, where people have been killed and, of course, injured. I believe it's around 10, a little more than at least 10 people have been killed there in Karachi by the police, by the security forces, as they've attempted to infiltrate these protesters. These lovers of Ayatollah Sayyid Ali Khamenei, who has been martyred here in Iran, attempting to infiltrate the U.S. Consulate there. Well, viewers, I'm going to go ahead and thank all of our guests who are joining us. We are going to come back to you very soon. But for right now, thank you very much for joining, and goodbye.
Power is the ability to affect others to get what you want. You can affect others to get what you want in three basic ways. One is with threats and coercion. We sometimes call that sticks. The second is payment. We often call that carrots. And the third is to get people to want what you want by attraction and persuasion. And that's what I call soft power.
This is the firing on the protesters that we were just kept that on.
Who is going to take this current circumstance where the country stands at a crossroads when it comes to diplomatic engagement, when it comes to the continuation of the war, and when it comes to almost everything related to this country?
Okay, and Tawhid, I just want to bring some news here now. The Israeli military says it has launched a broad wave of strikes in the heart of Tehran, which is likely what we're seeing on our screen right now and likely what you heard when we were speaking just a few moments ago.
Yep.
There was
That's
some
what
mention
they had to
yesterday
leave
of people being told to leave Tehran. Do you know, have people been doing that? Is that
Unreal, yeah. We were just watching PressTV, and they said that they were experiencing shaking, and then they abruptly thanked their guests, and then said that they had to go off, and now this is what's going on.
All in all, roughly 14 million people are living in this province. And of course, it's not going to be easy to talk about any easy actually way to move all these people outside the town.
All right, hold on. Let's go back to PressTV. Listen to some more of this.
Right? So the U.S. interest and the Israeli interest met at one point. They want to eliminate Iran because of the resources and its geostrategic position, and because the leadership always said no to them. It was stronger than the Israelis and some of their allies in the region. And once you eliminate Iran, Pakistan is next, and right at the gate of Pakistan is China. And this way you eliminate the shortest trade route between China and Europe through the Middle East. They eliminated Syria, they've weakened Iraq, they've weakened Afghanistan for the longest time. Iran is in the middle. You take it down, that leaves Pakistan, and Pakistan is now...
For context, I was watching PressTV earlier this morning when Tehran was initially struck, and they were broadcasting from Tehran, and they said that they were feeling shakes, and then they abruptly went off the air, and it abruptly went to like a PressTV like Epstein documentary, And then like half an hour later, they've come back and now they're in Beirut, right? Like it's obviously not, but they're broadcasting now from Beirut in Lebanon as Press TV. So like their headquarters in Tehran likely or around it likely got bombed and they had to like flee. And so they're broadcasting this broadcast, these ladies, they're broadcasting from Beirut.
Action to take. Today, Sheikh Fahim Qasim has said that we will continue to fulfill our duty of defending Lebanon. They have not said anything about taking part or retaliating and so on.